every spring I get particularly anxious to have fresh produce coming out of the garden. And at the same time, I have things left in the freezer and on the pantry shelf that I put up from the year before. And it's real important that you use those, because remember that as you leave things in the freezer, a couple of things happen. One is that you lose nutritional value, so that frozen fruits should really be used within a year to make sure that you get the most value from them. Also, the flavors and the quality begins to deteriorate within that time. And the last thing that happens is that you keep paying for them, because every month you pay your electric bill. So the longer they're in there, the more expensive they are and the lower quality they are. So it makes the most sense to use them up real quick. What I'm doing today is something called strawberry butter, and I'm going to use some of the strawberries that are from the freezer in order to make this. Now, if you make it later on, you could substitute fresh, but we're trying to use up some things we already have. What I have here is half a cup of either butter or margarine, whichever you have available. And along with that, I have 8 ounces of fat-free or reduced fat sour cream. And we're going to put those into a food processor and just pulse them a few times until they begin to get softened up. I want to scrape this down because I want to make sure they all get in there. It's helpful if you make sure, rather than bringing them directly out of the refrigerator, if you give them some time, 30 minutes or so, to come to room temperature, and they're going to soften up much better for you. If you don't have that much time, you can also always put them in the microwave oven just real quickly. Now, you don't have to have them completely pulverized, because we're going to do some more things here and add some more ingredients. The next thing I'm going to add is a cup of powdered sugar, because we want to sweeten this up. Now, this is not going to be the greatest nutritional value that you're going to put on the table, but it does have strawberries in it, which is going to give it a little bit of fiber, a little bit of vitamin C, a few antioxidants. And it's a nice change from some of the regular things that we have for breakfast and with our meals. Let that go until it's all smooth together. This will be where we finish pulsing together and then mixing together the cream cheese and the butter pretty much. And the last couple of things I'm going to put in 3/4 of a cup of strawberries. I prefer either using fresh or those that have been thawed. And drain them fairly well, but it's not real critical that you get them completely drained. Also to that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. I'm going to put the top back on that and process it until it's nice and smooth. There you go. If you process it too long, you're probably going to find out that it's going to get a little bit too airy, and you don't want that to happen. So scrape it down once or twice and then just finish the processing until it gets nice and smooth. And I'm going to leave this one here at this stage, but you can see what happens. Here you have strawberry butter. It's an excellent, has a great strawberry fresh flavor. It's going to get you ready for those things that are going to be coming out of the garden any day. And if you can't wait for some of those strawberries that you either see in the market, or if you're beginning to get some out of your garden, what you could do is use the frozen ones for something like this, where the appearance of the berry is not quite as important, and go ahead and use some of the fresh ones on the side. For Oklahoma Gardening, this is Barbara Brown.